What's up guys, Tevy here, back again with another episode of Let's Play Crash Bandicoot 1, a part of the Insane Trilogy. We're taking on the Lost City as Crash this time around, since Coco took most of the spotlight in the last video. Anyway, first thing we're going to do, in order to do this, I don't know why, but I really wanted to know how to get these, and then I spin jumped over here, like, oh, I got it. But I do need to make sure I break this crate at the very end. I don't know why I just didn't jump off. But now I was like, how do I get above, how do I get back over here? And like, after trying this for like a couple of seconds, like, what if I just hop around? And I made it! Like, okay, cool, that's how you do that. Now I know what to do when I try to do the 100% one for this. Also, something to keep in mind too, this is like literally the third video and I'm only now mentioning this. I did it in the first episode too, I just didn't bring it up, but spinning into everything is not a good idea. If you spin while you're near Wumper Fruit or an extra life, instead of collecting it, you will spin it away and like not collect it all. So be careful where you're spinning. This also applies to Tnt Crates. As you've been seeing before, I've been jumping on them in order to destroy them, just like how we did in the first, how we did in Crash Bandicoot 4. You need to jump on Tnt Crates, not spin into them. Otherwise, they will explode on contact and you will die. So far, I don't think we've been introduced to Nitro Crates yet, but they do very much exist in this original game, so we'll be seeing those soon. And there's an embryo token up there, but I don't know how to get it. I think I have to hit a switch that's a little further ahead and then walk backwards in order to get it, but that's time consuming and I don't want to do that. So we'll just move on. And if you destroy both the bats, one at the beginning, one at the end for this particular location where they fly through, you will stop the incoming bats that go through the center part. You just have to destroy both the beginning and ending ones in order to stop that. And that does help with platforming if you feel uncomfortable or like anxious when they're coming through, but if you're fine going through it, you don't need to attack them at all. They'll be fair game. These particular lizards, they will kill you on contact, but if you do get too close to them, they will kind of push you back while you're spinning, depending on how your spin goes. For the most part, what I've seen, if you jump and spin while they're like, while you're on top of them, then it'll tend to kill them, but if you tend to do it from the sides, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not fully sure why. That's just my experience that I had when I was going against them. The red ones, they're a bit more, you know, just jump and spin, you'll kill them. And there goes the switch you have to hit in order to do that, but make sure you actually land on it and don't go into the fire like I did. Now we have to come back over here, but thankfully this isn't too far away, so I digress. But this is what I was talking about with the lizard. It does kind of like vary of how you attack them in order to get through it. In fact, that's not too far away from where that box was, so it's not too bad to go through it. It's just getting through that part with the stones pushing in and out, where that was the section where I have a bit of trouble like doing. I suppose if you find a particular way, you can probably jump over it and just walk on top of them, like you see me do later on in a further back section, but like I said before, any percent run, so I don't need to get those if I don't have to. And these ones are on a little timer of when they push in and out, so you just want to keep in mind of when that timing is in order to get to it, and just do that. And then here goes the red guys, like I said before. Okay, so you can jump on them. I was just always it was this one where I decided, like, okay, if you get rid of them, just jump and spin, because these ones jump. Because yeah, didn't do that the first time, so it cost me a life. Oh well. And then there's these stupid platforms. They work like a seesaw, so I always tend to jump towards the middle one first, just so it stays in the middle, and then I'll make my way towards the very last one, so I can get to the next bit of platform safely without dying. And of course that pushed me off. I didn't time it right or wait for the correct timing to actually go through. So that one, I barely made that one. I was lucky enough to slide through there the very last minute to actually reach it. But so far, this level isn't that difficult. As soon as you get more attuned to like the timing and whatnot of everything, you're good to go. And this game is really going to be more heavy on like, don't kill everything like right away. see exactly what they're going to do to know their attack patterns, or if they like line up with something higher up that you need in order to get the collectibles, wait for them to be over there so you can take advantage of it. Because otherwise you'll miss out on it, and because this game doesn't have a sliding jump that you can go into, you only jump normally. You need to make sure that you're able to get every advantage that you can in order to get it. This one, I didn't finish this bonus stage during the playthrough, but this one's very easy to do. I'm doing it all wrong. Instead of doing all this and trying to keep up with it, like, mentally, the easier way to do this is literally just jump and spinning to get rid of the first top wave of crates, so that way you only have to keep track of the bottom ones. So yeah, after that, it's like, nah, I don't need to do it, but I do like doing that one once I know how to do it. Thankfully, I did not miss jump over there because I felt like I was going to die. Thankfully, I wasn't. Of course, I want to quickly get rid of you. I probably could have jumped on him and like gone a little higher so I could reach the other parts, but thankfully, I didn't need to. And here he is. I was about to like kill him until I saw the crate above him. It's like, oh, let me wait till I get over there. But even with that, we still missed quite a few. So. Of course, it's another gem one that you need in order to get all these, and I'm going to miss a lot of crates. And while you're going through this, if you hold down the X button, it will proceed to go a little faster, and you're able to get an achievement if you miss a lot of boxes. And I think the threshold for a lot of boxes means anything past like 45. But you'll know when you get it, because when they're like on the ground, like physically in pain, that's going to be a good indication that you missed a lot of boxes, because you can physically see that they are dying. What was this little bubble? This one, I wasn't paying attention while I was like on the way through. I think it's at Temple Ruins. And now that I actually think about Temple Ruins, that reminds me about the lore I read about Ripperoo, at least when it comes to the Crash Bandicoot manga, because there is a manga for this game, surprisingly. Well, it shouldn't be surprising. He was trying to be the mascot for Naughty Dog at one point, so, I mean, he was trying to be the mascot for Sony, so they would make a manga to capitalize on his popularity. But anyway, as I was saying, Ruins. Ripperoo, which was one of Cortex's first creatures that he put through the Evolve Array that turned out to be a failed experiment. Once he was done with him and was deemed a failure, he literally left Ripperoo in abandoned ruins and just left him there instead of coming back to him. That's why when you go back towards, or when you saw the beginning part of the cutscenes where it looks, where it lists all the individual animals in crates, you can see the names of various enemies of whatnot that we end up fighting, the various bosses, I should say, that we end up fighting. We saw a kangaroo, a tiger, a koala, and then the Bandicoot one, and then there was the one right beside him that you can only see a little bit of. That one, we will fight against later on. However, that one, he didn't turn out as insane or was deemed a failure like the other ones. In fact, I don't know why it said Ripperoo was considered like a failure. Probably because he was insane, but I don't know what part of the experiment caused him to be insane. It was probably like the conditions from the Evolve Array, which Embryo was against when we were going through it, just because he knew it wasn't going to work. But there are other unforeseen issues of why that didn't work that wasn't attuned to, oh, because Crash himself messed up the machine in the past. Or in the future. Yeah, no, in the past. I said it right. Or at least unintentionally. So yeah, that's a bit of lore. I highly recommend reading the Crash Bandicoot wiki. That was very interesting to find out all about these guys, because the main reason why I wanted to like read that and all is because I wanted to find out a little bit more about like Tawna and Crash's relationship. Because as you can see, they are close, and it mentions that Crash and Tawna are dating in the original game, and the reason why he's going back to Cortex's castle is to save her from Cortex. And after this game, you don't see her again, except for like in little cameos, and pictures and posters and whatnot, and you don't see her again until like chronologically, if you're going by like the number games, you don't see her again until 4. Otherwise, at least in the Japanese ones, it is mentioned that Tawna and Crash broke up, and then she ends up dating one of the other bosses that we meet later on. That's always in the Japanese. Starting to lose my voice. That's always in the Japanese manual for it. You don't see that anywhere at all in localization for like the American ones or anything like past Japan. It always just leaves it as they broke up but they still remain friends. It doesn't say anything about her end up going with Pinstripe. Why did I just say that? I just said we'll find out later on, and then I was like, and then you just see him again, like, oh, okay, I just said the name. But yeah, we'll fight him later on in this, I think it's in part 5? Yeah, I think it's part 5. Yep, it is part 5, because that one was annoying. Oh my god, my throat. Starting to lose it. Road to Nowhere. Oh my god. This is an interesting level. So, fun fact, when I first played this game, this is what caused me to, this one level made me lose confidence in my gaming skills, and I stopped playing this game for like at least a year because it was so difficult for me to get through. And I just could not handle it. There was like, it's not bad now, but back then it was like, it's just too precise. It's too precise for me. I can't do it. I'm just gonna stop playing this. And this got me like all Crash Bandicoot games for like a while because I dreaded playing this level. In fact, when I first played, it's like, it would be cool to like record playing this game, and then it's like Road to Nowhere, and then hours and hours of failures, constant game overs. And it's like, I can't do this. This is too much. You are able to kind of cheese this level if you're good enough to land on the tightrope and like run across it, but I'm nowhere near skilled enough to do that or pull that off. So instead, I like to be precise with my jumping and just use the bridge to get over there. Couldn't see it right there, but I do have some skill playing this game, and right there, that wasn't it. I always like to wait for the warthog to go through a little bit further, that way I can jump over him to make sure that he's not going to hit me on the way back. Otherwise, when I see him coming, it's like, wait, see how far he can go, and then from there, then I start jumping. The blue platforms on here, they're at a little angle, so when you land on them, you will start to slip a bit. And that was stupid. I don't know why I misjumped, or mistimed my jump right there, or messed up the draw distance, I should say. Because yeah, I'm so cautious when playing this level. It's like, even if I know I can reach another platform by jumping over one of the planks of wood over there, it's like, no, I'll wait. I'll jump on all of them individually to ensure that my jumps are going to hit and I'm going to land properly. Otherwise, for the most part, like I said, the blue ones, they're at a slope, so that you will slide when you get onto them. And here's what I was talking about before. I wait to see how far he gets, because you can't really... Sometimes I see that you can kill him, and other times you can't, so I was very confused. For the most part, I just avoid him altogether, so avoid him if you can. And always go for the bonus level, because you get a free checkpoint. Who doesn't like a free checkpoint? Especially in this level, where you need all the checkpoints you can get. Anyway, this part over here is very simple. Once we jump on this one, we want to come up to this upper part where we're going to be free from the blast explosions we don't get hit. And we'll just use that as a little elevator to get higher up. And we want to destroy this box on top so we can make our way over here and break the last two. I spinned away that life. I should have just jumped on it so I can collect it. But, I digress. It's one life I just missed. Still counts as me breaking the box. It's not like a big deal. And then these turtles are very, very useful for this level, so don't kill them. Just jump on them so you can use them as little bungee so you can reach the other areas. Because otherwise, if you do kill them, like, it takes a while for them to come back sometimes. Other times, it's like, they're not going to show up again. So it's like, you might as well just kill yourself and then come back from the checkpoint. And, of course, 11 boxes. Of course, I need to come back again when I get the colored gem to actually reach those ones, so that's fine. Boulder Dash. This is another one of those boulder chasing levels. Thankfully, Coco can do these ones, but this is a Crash video, so we'll do this. But this one does have an optional path that not optional, but it does require to have us. It does require us to have the purple gem in order to get the remaining crates that we're going to miss in this level. So hopefully I can get that soon. Because I really like playing these. I really like playing these games now that I'm better at it and I have the practice. Because that's all you really need in order to like get good at these games. You just need the practice. And I feel like that's just the patience I didn't have years ago, even though it's not like I was a child years ago either. I just didn't have as much patience as I do now. At least not like the ones I need in order to like be better at playing these games. But otherwise, when I'm playing games, like, alright, I'll just play the game like I normally like to do. Sometimes I speed through it, sometimes like take my time, but for the most part, I don't like to take my time. Like how I was doing over there. Because I did not check the surroundings as accurately as I could be, and I was just constantly jumping to get further ahead, and that caused me to just run off the edge instead of jumping when I needed to. And that was unfortunate because I was doing well at this point. Although I did I did die early in this one. That one's just cut out because it was like at the very beginning, so it's like, it's not necessary, let's just move on. But honestly, the way these boulders are rolling is like so surprising that they just don't fall off to the edge. And it's not like you can really trick the boulders, like running forward and then quickly running back before they would like start rolling, so you can actually like peacefully walk through this level. They're always going to be automatic, otherwise the game will be broken if you were able to do that. But we should be getting pretty close to the end of this level, and that's where the gem path is going to be of where you would go to get the remaining of the crates that we're going to miss through here. And since we don't have the dash feature, the sliding feature, it's not like I can just dash, or I keep doing it. It's not like I can slide through those obstacles. I have to just keep walking around them, or like jump over them in order to get around it. Or spinning. You can spin through the planks that are sticking up. I don't know if you can do it with the metal stakes, the wooden stakes. I feel like you should be able to. I just didn't bother to try, just because when I am spinning, I feel like it slows me down a little bit compared to me just constantly running, so that's why I stopped doing it at some point. So yeah, that's pretty much the majority of it. Also, when you're doing this level too, always keep a lookout on where the Wumpa fruits are, because they'll do a good job of like guiding you of where you should be going to avoid those obstacles so you don't get like stuck out of nowhere. So yeah, there it is. We need the purple gem in order to get through that. In fact, I said at the very beginning of this level. Okay, sorry, I just lost my train of thought, and I need to talk to my sister for a bit. Oh god, and now I need to sync that part up together. Oh, I digress. Anyway, Sunset Vista. This is one of the levels where you can get a key, and I'm not fully sure what the keys actually do or why we need them, but there are keys to collect. Also, that hint that we just saw, you can use the directional buttons if you want to play the old school way. That is actually pretty helpful in the bonus levels and the final boss fight. Yeah, it was the final one. Because everyone else is more like in a 3D space where you... Actually, no, there is another boss where using the directional buttons will be a lot more useful than the analog stick. Because while you do, like... what's a good way to word it? I find that when I'm playing those levels using the analog stick, even though I'm moving like left and right, I will at some point get a little off-centered because I'm kind of still tilting up and down too while I'm moving, and that kind of shifts me off the proper perspective that I need to be on in order to make my jumps and whatnot. So using the directional buttons on those very linear stages where it's like left to right like how this is right now, this is probably like one of the more better stages that you want to use the directional buttons for instead of the analog stick, just so you can be sure like you're going in a perfect straight line and you're not veering off up or down in order to get like a little bit further off the mark to make your jumps and whatnot. So yeah, there are advantages to using the directional buttons. Even if they don't feel comfortable, they will help a lot. And of course, we're getting to another one of these time sections with these platforms. So it's just hopping on each individual one as the time is going through in order to make it. So far, Sunset Vista, I think this is one of my more, I don't want to say one of my more favorite levels to do. It was definitely one of the ones that gave me a little bit more trouble when it came towards like the latter part of it, just because I wasn't as confident in my jumps as it was back then. And of course, this is what I was talking about before, where sometimes it pushes you off even when you hit them, and that's irritating. Oh my gosh, that's annoying. But yeah, this is one of the ones that that you get better with practice. But this individual section right here, this pisses me off, just dealing with this in particular lizard. I literally get around him by going upwards so I can have a bit more space and then spitting into him when he lands in the center part. But if you do time your jump a bit better and come towards him towards the very end part, you can jump over these, at least that one over there, to reach the upper section. And I feel like there might have been a crate up there too, which might have been a part of the section that I missed. But I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so, but it might be. There's always a possibility. But these ones also have a timed element to them as well. So once I get on these platforms, I like to stop and take my time, except for these ones over here, because they will vanish towards the end, and it takes a while for them to come back. So as soon as you jump on them, be ready to move, because otherwise that's just going to throw you off, and you're going to fall towards the very bottom like I did. But if you know where the flames are going to be at, you can try to maneuver yourself towards the center part so you can like survive that fall. Otherwise, you'll be fine, except for right here. And here, this is where the flames are going to be centered at, so you probably want to move to the right or left in order when you fall. Thankfully, I did my jumps pretty well, and I'm not that big on trying to get those crates, because otherwise I'll have to do this part again, and I was not feeling that in the slightest, so I just said forget it, let's move on, and proceed with the mission. And of course, aim for the center part. If you do touch the other ones, it'll work like a jigsaw and just move left and right. And you just want to basically just move jump as soon as you land on it, that way they can start shifting back towards the center so you can move on properly. This section though, this does give me a bit of trouble sometimes, but you just want to wait till like those parts are in and you just want to start to come out. But still, be confident in your jumps. I have a bad habit of like when I jump and I feel like I'm not going to make it, I start to shift backwards like I'm trying to save myself. But that's only going to make me like miss my mark even further. So just be confident in your jumps. If you're going forward, just go forward. And don't push back on them at all, otherwise you're going to kill yourself. These ones I can easily get, and there's some extra lives in there for me, so that's another good incentive for me to do that. I didn't need to jump over here, I could just gone straight to the center. I felt like I just want to be lined up with the platform, so if I go up, I will go up in like a straight zigzaggy pattern, I should say, in order to reach the top area. And these bats cover this whole entire like midsection, and it probably would have been good for me to kill like that bat too, so it's like clear and I feel safe during there, but towards the end it's like, it's not fully necessary, I can make it without it. And if I do have to come back here again, I can easily just get rid of all of them so I can be safe. Thankfully, I was there at the right time where it was about to spark up and kill me. I really do not like the flame pedestals. Their like timing sometimes throws me off, even though it's very easy to stick with. And I honestly don't know how I made that one. I felt like I should have missed. But there's another crate at the very top of here. You want to wait for him to come closer so we can jump on him so we can get that extra so we can reach these crates in the background. And this is the first time we're actually seeing a Cortex Token, and that's like the only one I ever get throughout this playthrough. That and probably one more. I never get the whole full tokens, and I die. Because I did not look at the timing properly, and I got pushed off. But anyway, as I was saying, that was the only Cortex Token I think I get throughout this entire playthrough. And there might be one more I get, but I never get the full set of 3 for him. I mostly always get Tawna, and there's like one time I got the Embryo one, but I've never gotten all 3 of the Cortex ones, because I feel like the rest of his tokens are probably going to be hidden without through the special gem paths that you guys go through. That we can go through if we get all of them. So I'll probably see that at some point. But for the most part, the only difference is when you go through an Embryo and a Cortex one is instead of Tawna waiting at the end, it'll be one of them. Even then, you'll still see Cortex anyway at the end of Tawna's, because he comes and swoops her away before we're able to save her. And if I time this right, I can get another one of my one of the Tawna tokens. Actually, no, that was an extra life. But the main reason why I did that one so I can skip that area by just jumping on top of it, because that felt good to do. I was glad I was able to do that. I was feeling myself towards like this middle part, like, damn, I'm doing pretty good. And then it's like, all right, rein yourself in, because as soon as you get cocky, that's when we're going to start dying. And it did not take you long to live up to my nightmare of what I just said, because this section over here, this one kills me, because I did not time my jump properly. I went for it when I should have waited a little bit more. I know at some points I do stop gathering the fruit, even though I should constantly keep going for the fruit, because like I said before in the very beginning of the episode, at least for a few episodes ago, as soon as you get 100 Wumpa fruit, you get an extra life. And these lives, they matter. They really matter, like when you're constantly like doing these levels and you're constantly dying. So I skipped that one. I could have gone and easily got that one and come back, but I just didn't feel safe going for it, so it's like, I'll just leave it alone. And there'll be more lives. I just got an extra one. I'll be fine. I just had to play smart, stay safe, and believe in my jumps. And at some point I missed the Tawna token, so I don't know where that one is. So you know what? I feel like it's probably in that stack of 3 that I opted not to get because it wasn't worth it for me. So that's probably where the other one is. And of course, I wasn't making my jumps here, so I was just constantly going in circles like, let me just wait. And there we go, I barely made it that time. And that one messed me up, and thankfully I did not land on any of the torches, and I was able to come back onto one of the platforms that are spinning around this circle. Thankfully fall damage isn't a thing, otherwise I would have to done this one multiple times. Oh my god, that one scared me. Even now, like rewatching, that one scared me. Oh my gosh, I hate this one. I hate like levels like these where it's like, it's just vertically based, where you're just constantly going up, because the second you miss a jump, it's like, alright, all the way back down, and then you have to come all the way back up again, and that pisses me off, because I hate those types of levels. But we should be getting pretty close to the end of this. Thankfully, there we go. There's checkpoints. There's not more left after this. These ones are going a little bit faster than how they normally do, so as soon as I like land on it, I have to immediately jump in order to reach my target. So yeah, I think after that, there's only like a small section left and we're done. In fact, I think it's over here and die. There we go. And there's quite a bit of crates I missed in this one, so that's unfortunate. Oh well, but that is where we're going to end off today's video, so thank you guys for watching this episode of Let's Play Crash Bandicoot 1 for the Insane Trilogy, and we're sadly going to endure Crash being flattened to death by boxes. I'm sorry, Crash, I didn't mean to. Well, anyway, if you guys liked the video, give the video a like, leave a comment, all those good things I always say at the end of these videos, and let me know how your day is going down in the comment section below, and in the next video we'll take on Koala Kong in the next one. So until then, take care everyone,